Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, BLUMR 1, GE-DF 0. Remember, you want to win as many games as possible. It's best of twos. You are trying to win as many games as possible, get yourself as high up the leaderboard in your group as possible, so you go to upper groups instead of lower groups. Now, let's take a look here, see what's going on. So when we start with BLUMR, we got Kleber, Ragnar, Kleber, Harugamo. Venezia, first time we're seeing a Venezia, good for killing DDs, probably going to be put out, I would think, on the A flank in the open water to kite. Des Moines, Moskva, Kremlin, and Vermont. And we're going to come back to Venezia in a second, because I do want to talk about that for a second.
Give me death.
Vampire, Daring, Gearing, Moskva, Marseille, Stalingrad, got that. Zhao again, and then the Ohio and the Colombo, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I want to talk about that Venezia for a second, and by extension also the Zhao. So, one of the things as KotS coordinators we put into the term this time were the restrictions, and I've talked about the restrictions before, but this is what I like to see, is because of those restrictions, what would probably be played most of the time in place of that Zhao or that Venezia is a Nevsky. And so now you've gotten rid of the Nevsky 12-kilometer radar, which means we're seeing more ships in the meta than we usually see. Venezia is a rarer ship, admittedly, and Zhao is virtually unheard of, but it's a chance to bring these out because you don't have the Nevsky that you have to worry about. Because that 12-kilometer radar is brutal, combined with the fact that you can smoke chain it. So now, in order to do what the Nevsky could do with just a DD, you have to bring multiple ships. Because the Venezia can't radar. The Zhao can't radar. So you gotta bring multiple ships in order to be able to do what you want to. Also, shots coming in on that Moskva of Calais. Calais manages to turn out, does take some chunks, and we gotta get right back into gameplay now after I take that second to talk, because there is a lot going on. So the Marseille is taking about 13k. Daring of Han Mithut is looking at B. Hoshimi is spotted as he pushes into C. Now, he's spotted by the Vampire, but in a fight between a Kleber and a Vampire, that can be an interesting one to watch, so we'll keep an eye out. Vampire does have Hydra going, so he should easily dodge the Torps coming from the Kleber. Kleber just wants to get dark, and that is that a ledge mod Kleber? It is not, and that's why he's detected so far away, ladies and gentlemen, from everything else, because it's not a ledge mod Kleber. And so if it was a legendary mod Kleber, with this Vampire here, Kleber would be able to just sit there and take the cap, but instead he's detected. And so he's backing out, trying to get out of the detection range, but he's taking a lot of damage for it that he's just not returning. Down already over 8,000 health, he uses the speed booster and the reload booster, and that's the trade you make with the Kleber. Do you want to be stealthy, or do you want to farm at range? Because as we look at this Kleber, you'll see, or sorry, reload, pardon me. You look at this Kleber, you see he's built for reload. So he wants to be able to reload quicker, but he does it at the detriment of his overall ability to cap. Gearing down to 13.6, DCP used. Zhao spotted, might have bit off. No, I don't think bit off more than he can chew. It's a couple DDs out there. Yeah, they'll hurt him. But as long as he doesn't get murdered by the Vermont here, which is always a possibility, he should be good. Vermont shells in. Still at 34,000. Still feeling pretty good. Colombo shots in on towards the Kleber. Don't really hit. Zhao is retreating, but he does take about 10k health in damage, and he's healing. Vermont of Picha Braba, using the heal on fire, does pop the DCP now. So 1-to-1 caps, both teams taking up points. Slight advantage for the side of BLUMR in terms of points. But in terms of health, I like the position that GE-DF is in more for now. The Zhao of Luark being forced back hurts, but he has 3 heals left. Colombo not taking much damage. Here come the Vermont shells. 9k there, not exactly what you want if you're going to be putting out shots. Kremlin gets the back guns on. They just miss. Or no, this is Moskva, pardon me, not Kremlin. Ohio taking some chunk, down to 66.8. He is burning, has a DCP. He's not going to use it. He's going to use that heal instead. And the Marseille gets the Moskva's broadside, takes him to 45k. That's a nice hit. Now, this is what we want to keep an eye on right here, chat. So, we'll go up to map view. Des Moines and Harugumo cutting down the edge. Harugumo can smoke the Des Moines to here, and then suddenly you have forced them off of their ability to contest C, and the Moskva now is in the sights. Harugumo will be spotted here in a second. He opens up. He is spotted, but he opens up on the Vampire. But now the Vampire in a bit of a problem spot. And look, the Des Moines also about to open up. And so now that... oh my goodness, that Vampire just got slapped. He is out of detection. He's going to be able to drop the... or to pop the smoke to try to get dark. But down to 2,600 health. Down to 2,200. If he takes one more shot here, he gone. And he just dodges, but that Vampire can't heal up, and he's under 10% of his health. And now the Harugumo, as I said, smoke train in, Des Moines pushes up. Looks like they're not going to go for the overly aggressive. They're going to put the Des Moines here. Still going to challenge the Moskva. Yeah, still going to challenge the Moskva right here, and it's going to allow BLUMR to look at C. They've pulled the Kleber of Hoshimi way away from there. Looks like they're going to say, we're going to challenge at A and make you make a push into the caps. And you can see now that Des Moines just being able to free farm and smoke. He's going to put fire on the Moskva. If Moskva backs up too far, watch for the Vermont. Vermont has a beautiful angle over those islands to drop right in on him. And yep, there we go. Shots are in. How far forward is the Vermont or the Moskva going to go? And where did the Vermont aim? Vermont aim looks like he bet on that. Oh, chat. Oh, chat, this could be bad. Oh! 24-kilometer shot, and you can see it coming. Moskva gets deleted. Buddy Holly's gone. BLUMR claims first blood 7.5 minutes into the game. Now, Pichabraba looks like he's about to die to Torps, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he just dodges the Torps. Doesn't have a heal again for 8 seconds, but that was just brutal. Because that Moskva now has what this means, ladies and gentlemen, is Stalingrad Lone Wolf backs up. So right now, the points lead is going to tick back in favor of GE. Especially with the Vermont starting to go down here probably soon as he tries to heal. But C has now been capped, and now you've got the ability to pen in the side of GE. And with the Moskva killing off the Vampire here, you're down to your 2 DDs in A. You don't have a way to contest B with any long-term effectiveness. You're going to bring the ships around, try to get, but the Klebers have just 5 seconds until they cap. And you can see there's the cap, ladies and gentlemen. It's now back to 1-to-1 cap with a 160-point lead. And the Moskva of Calais, if he can finish off C, is going to start ramping that up. And now the Klebers go to work and they start to just spam down the enemy ships. The HE coming in. They want that Stalingrad dead. Stalingrad, they know that the Stalingrad most likely wants to keep backing up. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize the Vermont was down to 189 health. Talk about living outside your fears. That man has no fear and says, I want that max AR. But now the Stalingrad, like I said, into a problem spot. Moskva has shots. Des Moines is going to have the broadside. The Stalingrad cannot DCP that double fire, and he might be on triple fire here in a second, chat. Shots are in. Like, if they get a third fire, he's just gone. If they get there's the third fire. Stalingrad is gone. Shots come in. That'll confirm it right there, ladies and gentlemen. And that'll be a 3-ship lead for the side of BLUMR. And now, like I said, they got that 2-cap advantage. They win in 4 minutes, and it's a push that has to happen for GE-DF in order for them to be able to do anything. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as we watch BLUMR just tearing in here, the Ohio of Stone Fox, 42,000. Marseille of Lord Arkham, down to 41,000. Vermont of Pitchy Braba can't heal anymore. He is a target to get killed, but that's why he's sitting so far back. And the Ohio, I mean, his DCP's off. He's going to have a heal here in a second, but now it's how long does it take them to start the fire as they just lace the shells in. And this is what's brutal about these quick firing comps. Harugumo just lacing shells in. Kleber just sitting there able to lace shells in. Des Moines and Moskva free farming. This Ohio, he's trying to heal, but there's the fire. That's going to negate the healing advantage. And ladies and gentlemen, Stone Fox is not long for this world. He's down to 5,000. He is ticking away, and some of them are already starting to turn to that Marseille of Lord Arkham. Ohio goes down here. That'll bring the lead up to 400 points, and the side of BLUMR is now just 3 minutes away from winning this game. Lord Arkham trying to get to safety. He doesn't have a DCP or heal. He's at 9,000 health. He's streaming forward, trying to get some damage out, but he is going to tick out with those 2 fires on him regardless of what else happens. Down to 4,000. He's going out because he wants to absolutely murder the Kremlin. Big hit on the Kremlin takes him down. He gets another shot out. He does trade some good damage onto the Kremlin, but I think it's just too little too late. The Daring spotted, and they are just chasing after them like a dog after a bone. Harugumo of Rice Enjoyer down to 1,500. He goes dark, ladies and gentlemen. But minute 36 until the side of BLUMR wins. And BLUMR's just... It's over. You can't get the cap control back in time. You don't have the ship health or number of ships to do it. There goes the Daring of Han Mit-Hut being spotted, and now he becomes the focus fire target again. Assuming they decide they want to ignore the Zhao. And you can see Daring already down to 11k. Shots coming in on him, down to 10k. Even the Harugumo opens back up. 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen, until the side of BLUMR wins. Han Mit-Hut is at 9,500. He's trying to get out of there, down to 8,400. He is on fire, 14 seconds to that. They do get the Harugumo of Rice Enjoyer with those shots from the Daring. That buys them a little bit of time. Radar about to go out. Will they be able to finish him off in time? Another set out from the Moskva. Down to 3,300. They don't get him out, but the Colombo gets absolutely murdered there. And 45 seconds to victory for the side of BLUMR. GE-DF does manage to claim that Harugumo, as I said, to give themselves a little bit of pride. And oh my goodness, that Zhao just reminded the Moskva why the Zhao is a dangerous ship to have in a game. Zhao becomes focus target again. He has no heals. 14,000 is his max. Here come the shots from the Kleber, the Des Moines. 20 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, and it might not matter. Gearing of Dr. Harlequin down to 3,000, 2,000, down to 1,700, and he's gone. And ladies and gentlemen, that will be the confirmation right there. The side of BLUMR takes game 2. They win the best of 2, 2-0, and they set themselves up in good position to move on. We'll be right back.